So my video today is going to be about the high-end products that I own that I would repurchase or that I wouldn't repurchase, and just kind of like tips and tricks to get you started buying high-end stuff. Because when I first started, I kind of just went crazy because I didn't really know what to buy, and I did end up with some stuff that I really don't like, and I kind of wish I didn't have, or not necessarily I didn't have, but that I just don't use as much as I wish I did for the price of it. So I'm just going to jump in, and hopefully the quality of this video is a lot better once I uploaded it, because my last two were awful, and I don't know what it is. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad, so hopefully the lighting here is better. So, alright, the first thing I'm going to talk about is mascara. Now, to me, mascara is something I do not buy high-end very often. Excuse me. I have a few, like, that I've tried that were high-end because of samples, like, from Birchbox. However, to me, in general, mascara is mascara. Like, there are some that I like better than others, but for the most part, like, I don't know, I just think a lot of times the higher end mascaras, you can find something just as good, if not better, in the drugstore for like a quarter of the price. Like, that's part of my problem, is mascara tends to be pretty high in price. So this one I'm going to talk about is Benefit's They're Real, which I really do love. Like, I do love it, but I don't think I'll repurchase it. It was $20 when I know I can find something similar at the drugstore. It's got this gigantic brush, and I like that it's got the little tips at the end, but to me, just a nice brush isn't worth the extra $20, honestly, or the extra, you know, whatever. So mascara to me is something I don't buy high-end very often. Like, I got this when it first came out, and I did enjoy it, don't get me wrong, but I don't think I'd repurchase it. Along those lines is pressed powders. Pressed powders are pressed powders. Like, that's something I've learned, you know. Yeah, there's some that can be a little bit more cakey, or some that are the wrong color, but in general, a pressed powder is going to be a pressed powder, and you shouldn't be spending $30 on it. Just saying. This is a Studio Care blend by MAC, which I did love, obviously. I've used, like, almost all of it. I'm, like, scraping the edge of it to get it all. And I did love it, but I know that I can get something at the drugstore that is very similar. And, like, once it's on my face, I won't be thinking about the fact, oh, it's not MAC. You know what I mean? Like, so pressed powders to me are a no-go. Concealers. It's kind of the same thing. This is a NARS Duo, and I haven't tried a ton of high-end concealers, so part of it may be that I just haven't found the right one for me. This one is good, and I did like it, but I won't repurchase it, especially since I can't really use this color. Like, this color works well, but they're way too different to be in a set. This is custard and ginger, by the way. So, I mean, that's just my thought. I feel like concealers, like my hard candy concealer, covers way better than this. So, I mean, why would I rebuy this if that covers better? That's just my thought. Another one, I guess we're going with all the bad ones first. Well, not bad. Bad is the wrong word. Just doesn't work for me. This is NARS Illuminator in Super Orgasm. And I have, like, the body one for Laguna, and I don't really care for it as much either. Because I don't know if you can see this. I've swatched it earlier. It sticks out on your skin too much. It doesn't blend in and just give you a glow. It leaves, like here, like I did it kind of like a square. It just leaves like a square on your face. Like, it doesn't, the edges don't blend in very nicely. And I just, no matter what I've done, used my fingers, used a brush, you know, it just hasn't looked good. So I will definitely not repurchase that. I think the multiples work better. And just the blushes, I have a blush somewhere around here in Orgasm, and it works fabulous. I love it. Yeah, so. Alright, the next thing I would not repurchase is MAC pigments. These are from, I want to say To the Beach collection, and I don't think, it doesn't even say, I can't see it. What are you? Oh, The Ocean. Is that what it's called? Yeah. The bottom of this one broke off and got all gross, so. I definitely wouldn't repurchase this. These are extremely chunky. Like, look at this one. Like, and I know they're supposed to be that way, but it makes them pretty hard to work with because you really have to crush them, and then you have way too much on your brush. I like this color. It's not quite as bad. But yeah, I don't get the use out of them because they're kind of a pain to use. So, this was one of my first MAC purchases. Excuse me, there's the silver, which is really pretty, but it's just not worth it to me. I would never buy another one. And the regular pigments are okay, but I'm just not a pigment person. I guess it seems too much work. You know, it's just flying all over. I'm like, oh. Alright, so I guess we'll get into things that I would repurchase. Well, this is half and half. Foundations. I do think buying high-end foundations is worth it. To me, in the long run, especially since I have oily skin, I've found more high-end that work than low-end. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. You just have to find the right one, and it's a lot of trial and error, which is what I found. This one I would not repurchase. This is the Chanel Vitalumiere Aqua, which I did really like. It's really, really light and nice, and it feels good on your skin, but it is really expensive. When I got it with a coupon because of a situation. But I don't think I would buy it again. Like, it didn't make my skin look flawless. It was comfortable and it made it look okay, but it just wasn't. I like more full coverage. And this one I'm contemplating repurchasing. This is the Laura Mercier Silk Cream Foundation, which I've talked about a lot. And the only reason I'm saying contemplating is because I want to try some other foundations first, I think, because I do love this one, but I still think I can find something that's a little bit better for my skin. So I'm going to look into some different foundations before I repurchase this. I may come back to this, I don't know, but yeah, so that's how I feel about that. Excuse me. Alright, so eye primers are something I would definitely repurchase. If you watch my channel at all, I think I say this every time I mention this, I'm obsessed with Urban Decay's eye primer in Greed. This is like my holy grail eye primer. It's the first one I ever tried. This is depotted. It's just this really pretty gold, but I love how sticky it is, if that makes any sense. Like, the eyeshadow really grabs on and stays, and so does this. Like, now that it's swatched, I'll wash my hands and it won't come off for a while. Yeah, I absolutely love that. I will repurchase that as soon as that one's done. Paint pots, now, on the other hand, by MAC. I do really like these. They don't last without creasing as long as Urban Decay by any means. But they do last forever. I've had this one for probably 1.5 years, 2 years, and I'm still just making like a big dent in it. And they are good at making eyeshadows pop and giving a nice, like this one's a nice natural color. However, I think I might try something new next time when I'm out of this instead of going right back to this. I do have a couple other paint pots, but it's not a holy grail like the Urban Decay Greed is for me. Something I definitely will repurchase though, this is the MAC Fluid Line and Dip Down, which is just a brown gel eyeliner. And the reason I would repurchase this, because you're probably like, they've got some at the drugstore, you know why, whatever. This has lasted me for stinking ever without drying out. Every drugstore gel eyeliner that I've had, excuse me, has dried out really fast or doesn't last very long on my eyes. So for me, this is the best gel liner I've used. I really want to get the black one because I do like black a lot. But I really love this because it's nice and soft and you can smudge it out and then it's set. So I love this. I would probably repurchase this if I ever need to because, like, seriously, I think I've had this just as long as I've had that paint pot. So almost 2 years and it's fine. Which I know you're supposed to throw your makeup out, but I'm not gonna. I clean my brushes for fun. Alright, so eyeshadow's the last thing I want to talk about. Now, for me, when I first started buying high-end eyeshadow, it was kind of like, wow, because between that and the primer, I have really oily eyelids. I had never been able to keep eyeshadow on my eyes before. So, but some tips to buying eyeshadow, because there are, sorry, I'm moving everything around. There are so many out there, it's like really overwhelming, especially if you walk into MAC and you see all these colors like, oh my god. What you have to remember is not all eyeshadow is made the same, which is the mistake that I made, and I think I did a video about this, my MAC palette, how I just kind of went in and I just got a ton of colors, and I didn't try them all out, and now I've got some like Green Smoke and like a few other ones that just aren't the greatest, and they aren't very pigmented. So I would say until you are more used to like the colors that they have, don't just go fill out a palette. That's crazy, which is what I did. Try getting stuff like these little ones, just their single potted eyeshadows. Like this one is Gold Mine, which I won't repurchase because it's a weird color. I like it, but and this one's Sin by Urban Decay. Like get some of these smaller ones just to try out at first because you know it's really overwhelming to go in there and see all of them and not know what's good and what's not. And another thing, if you're gonna buy a palette, like a full, like already done palette, don't just grab something that's kind of like their trendy thing. Excuse me. Like Urban Decay has like these little ones with like 4 in it and like one crazy color. I don't know. Make sure that the colors in the palette are cohesive and that they'll go together. Because like I got this Urban Decay. I'm trying not to blind you. Oop, blind you. This is their anniversary palette, which I got and I never ever use it. I always forget about it because you can't really make a look out of these colors. Like you could kind of do like a light like shimmery color or look, but for the most part these colors don't go together. Like there isn't another color I could put with this crazy purple or this, you know, crazy green. Like I just forget about it because it's not cohesive. So especially if you're starting out, like try to find a palette that's got, you know, colors you know you're going to use. Not colors that you're attracted to necessarily, but ones that you know you'll wear. Like this is one I really recommend, especially for newbies. This is the Too Faced Natural Eye Palette. And they have a few different ones like Natural at Night, Romantic. It's all dirty. This is an amazing palette. I got my sister done too. But it has 3 matte colors and then 6 shimmery colors, and then, you know, they've got the dark browns, the taupey color, a goldish color, and some pinks. This is amazing. You can make so many different looks out of this, and it's not hard. You know what I mean? And I'm not reaching for other things for it. So that I definitely recommend. And then obviously the Naked palettes. I mean, everyone's heard about these for the most part. Would I repurchase both of them again? Probably not. Like, I love having both of them. This one's the one, it's more warm tones. And then the 2 here's got more cool tones. I do love having both of them, but I don't necessarily need both of them. You know what I mean? Like, if I had to go back or if I lost one, I wouldn't necessarily go out and repurchase both of them. But they're amazing, and especially for newbies, I really do recommend these because they just have shades that anybody can pull off, like these lighter colors, and then, you know, some like maroony colors, and then this gunmetal is amazing, you know. So yeah, I would definitely recommend getting a palette like this with more natural colors, especially if you're starting out, and then maybe buying like the crazy colors in the pot. So, you know, that's just how I would do it, or how I kind of wish I would have done it. So yeah, that's all I got today, so I'll see you guys later. Bye.